In a village nestled deep within an ancient forest, there stood a fence. Not just any fence, but a colossal barrier of wood and stone built by the first settlers centuries ago. It encircled the entire village, its gates sealed shut for as long as anyone could remember. The elders spoke of it with reverence, a sacred shield that kept the unknown dangers of the forest at bay. It was the heart of their tradition, the symbol of their safety. The world outside the fence was a place of myth and fear, a topic whispered about in hushed tones, but never truly known. Life inside the village was predictable, safe, and unchanging. Generations were born, lived, and passed away within its confines, their entire world defined by the looming shadow of the fence. To question the fence was to question their very existence, an act of heresy against the wisdom of their ancestors. The rules were simple: maintain the fence, respect the traditions, and never, ever wonder what lies beyond. But in every generation, there is a dreamer. In this village, his name was Elian. From a young age, Elian was different. While other children played games of trade and harvest, Elian would spend hours staring at the fence. He didn't see safety, he saw a cage. He didn't feel protected, he felt trapped. He would trace the weathered grain of the ancient wood, run his hands over the cold, unyielding stone, and his mind would race with questions. What was the sun like when it wasn't filtered through the canopy of trees just above their walls? What other colors existed besides the green of the forest and the brown of their homes? His questions were met with stern warnings from the village elders and concerned looks from his family. "The fence protects us, Elian," his father would say. "Curiosity is a dangerous path. The world beyond is not for us," but their words only fueled the fire in his heart. He began to study the old texts, not for the lessons on tradition they were meant to teach, but for the forgotten fragments of history hidden within. He discovered that the first settlers hadn't built the fence to keep things out, but to mark a temporary settlement. The gates weren't sealed by ancient magic, but rusted shut from centuries of disuse. This revelation changed everything for Elian. The fence wasn't a sacred shield. It was a monument to forgotten purpose, a prison built of fear and sustained by unquestioning tradition. He knew he couldn't live his whole life within its confines. He had to see what was on the other side. He began to work in secret. By day, he performed his duties as a carpenter, mending homes and crafting furniture. But by night, he turned his skills to a different purpose. He studied the Great Gate, its rusted hinges, its massive locking mechanism. He realized that it wasn't impossible to open. It was just a problem of mechanics, of leverage and force. He secretly forged tools, designed a system of pulleys and levers, and waited for the right moment. The opportunity came during the annual Founders Festival, a day when the entire village gathered in the central square to celebrate their heritage and the protection of the fence. While everyone was distracted by speeches and feasts, Elian slipped away to the Great Gate. His heart pounded in his chest, a drumbeat of fear and exhilarating hope. He attached his ropes and levers, his muscles straining as he put his plan into motion. With a deafening groan of tortured metal, a sound that hadn't been heard in centuries, the great lock began to turn. The ground trembled as the colossal gate, inch by painful inch, started to move. The sound echoed through the village, silencing the festivities. A wave of confusion, then panic, washed over the crowd as they turned to see the impossible happening. Their sacred barrier was being breached. The villagers rushed towards the gate, their faces a mixture of terror and anger. The elders shouted for Elian to stop, calling him a traitor who would doom them all. But it was too late. With a final, shuddering crash, the gate swung open, revealing not a terrifying monster or a world of chaos, but something far more shocking. A gentle, rolling meadow bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. A vast open sky stretched above, painted in hues of orange, pink, and purple that the villagers had never imagined. In the distance, they could see the shimmering blue of a massive body of water. A stunned silence fell over the crowd. This wasn't the world of monsters from their stories. It was a world of breathtaking beauty and endless possibility. Elian stood in the gateway, not as a destroyer, but as a liberator. He hadn't broken their protection. He had broken their prison. The first to step forward was a young girl who cautiously walked past Elian and onto the soft grass, her eyes wide with wonder. Soon, others followed, their fear slowly melting away and being replaced by a sense of awe. They stepped out of the shadows of their past and into the light of a new future. Elian's act of defiance didn't destroy the village. It redefined it. The fence remained, no longer as a barrier, but as a landmark, a reminder of their history and the courage it took to step beyond it. The village opened itself to the world, learning to trade, to explore, and to grow. They discovered that true safety isn't found in building walls, but in having the courage to explore what lies beyond them, to challenge the traditions that hold us back, and to open the gates to a world of infinite potential. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content that challenges the way we see the world. Until next time.